There's a lot of people who complain about the bad things that happen in their life, not understanding that without the bad things, you'd have no life at all. You need all of the bad things. You need the mental struggle. You need to go through things which you regret. You need to sit there so that if you've never regretted any action you've ever taken, how can you sit and make a intelligent decision for the future? You can't do it. Yeah, you need to sit and say, well, I felt the sting of regret for X. I don't want to feel the sting of regret for Y. You need this experience. And that's what life is all about. People think that life is just the good times. And this is the massive misconception. Love is a perfect example. Let's use love. Because people think being in love is holding hands and I hold hands and we cuddle in bed. I love them. Love is the whole spectrum. Love is missing them. Love is breaking up with them. Love is being sad they don't text you. Love is the whole circle. There's no up without down. Anything that has the ability to emotionally affect you positively has the ability to emotionally affect you negatively. There's nothing in the world that can only affect you in one direction. Even something as asinine and stupid as an object. Life as a man is pretty shit, and you're going to feel shit for a pretty large percentage of the time. But you're only going to ever escape that if you just perform regardless. You have to perform when you feel bad. As a man, you can't say, I will perform when I feel good. It doesn't work that way because our heads are too complicated and life's too complicated. There's too much on our shoulders and we have too much stress and too much pressure. Our heads are fucked. You have to be the kind of person who says, I perform regardless. I didn't miss a single day's training. I didn't miss a please. I didn't miss a thank you. I'm not saying I was happy. I'm saying I did exactly what I was supposed to do. If you want to be the most competitive predator on the planet, you have to be able to hunt in the day and the night. You have to be able to do both. You have to be able to perform when you're happy and sad. You can't only be able to perform when you're happy. You can't only go to the gym when you're motivated. You can't only be a competent person when your life's going well, because when your life's not going well, you're no longer competent. Then you're going to lose to people like me. And it's player versus player. If you're the kind of person who can only do well when you're happy and you're competing against someone like me who can do well all the fucking time, guess what? You lose. So my mental model, the answer is most of my opinions are just based around constructing a mental model that allows me to be brutally competitive. The things happen to people and things are going to happen to everyone. And even if you live the perfect life, you're still going to have bad experiences because everything's relative. Yeah. So small things can be big. Yeah. And you have to learn to get on with it and be disciplined. And if you don't have a disciplined upbringing, you don't learn to go through hard times, you're just going to end up one of those people who just is a complete feather in the wind. You just succumb to your emotions. Yeah. And that makes you either a pussy or, as a man, also makes you dangerous. These people, these serial killers and these school shooters and all these things, these are people who just give in on their emotions instantly. These are people with no self-control.
They never had fathers around.
They never had fathers around.
99% of them in America, they're from a single mother kind of type home or some shit, no father around.
And they never had anyone sit and say to them, I don't care how you feel, you're not allowed to act that way.
Yeah.
And that's it. So when they feel a certain way, they think, well, I'm going to act this way.
Yeah.
And that's what's dangerous. This is also why I became successful in the first place, because I've always been capable of fighting and going through pain and dedicating myself and doing difficult things and having hard things happen to me and being emotionally regulated. So perhaps what's so interesting about it is, even if I want the dark, no matter how deep I dive into it, no matter how much mess I try and get myself in, I'm just going to end up springing back and having more fans and more followers and more people talking about me and more social media.
Bro, it's the emotional regulation that I'm worried about. I'm like, how the hell does this guy do it?
Well,
how do you manage that?
Yeah, for me, it's relatively easy
because it's a new dark again.
It is, but that's part of I'm looking for the journey. I don't want the comfort. I want the challenge. I'm looking for the journey. So no matter what bad is happening to me, part of me is always going to sit there and detach myself from myself and analyze it from the third person and say, wow, fantastic. This is going to be a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for you to prove yourself to yourself and prove yourself to everybody else and prove yourself to God. Feeling depressed is real.
Yeah.
Depression as a disease, I do not subscribe to. The idea, I believe, that if you feel depressed, something is depressing you, and you should try your best to fix it. You should take control of your life and do your best to fix it. The idea, but they don't say that. They don't talk that. They say depression like it's this magic thing that comes out the sky and it gets in your brain, you're sad no matter what, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you need to only take pills. And I think that's a very bad way to look at the world, and that's a bad idea to subscribe to. And if you start to feel depressed, let's say your girl leaves you and you start to feel depressed, but you believe in the idea of depression, you're now going to start diagnosing yourself as clinically depressed, self-hypnosing yourself into hypnotizing yourself into being clinically depressed. And it's amazing how you can speak things into existence. I cannot become depressed because I don't believe in it.
So how about chemical imbalances in the brain?
Bullshit. That's all been disproved anyway.
Really?
It's all been disproved. Firstly, that's all been disproved. And secondly, even if that was true, even if I had a chemical imbalance in my brain, I do not believe in depression. Next time you see a rich guy, go up to him and say, how'd you get rich? I've never heard anyone say university. Ever! I've never heard anyone say it's a lie. It's a scam. When I was 16, I saw the guy in the Ferrari. I was like, I'm going to college and he isn't. And he ain't going to work. He knows something I don't know. I knew at 16 everything they tell me. But there's still people who think they have 5 years to waste in college. 5 years. I'm 37. Let's conservatively estimate I make, for myself, $250,000, let's say. 5 years ago, I was probably making 20 grand. That's the difference 5 years can make. 5 years. And they're going to sit there and do what? Read a book from 22 years ago? Go party? Oh, fraternity. Bro, competence is confidence. I think they go hand in hand. You're going to be confident in doing things you're good at. And I understood I had to get good at things from a very young age. And I was challenged from a very young age to constantly test myself in endless competition. My whole life has been competition.
Correct.
It was chess tournaments from a very young age.
Yeah.
And then it was professional fighting. My whole life's been a massive competition.
Right.
And I understood that there's winners and losers. And that's how the world operates. To this day, right now, it's the same thing. And you just get good at the idea of competition. I think there's a lot of people out here who don't realize they're in a fight. Or they know they're in a fight, but they want to ignore the fact they're in a fight because they don't want to have to accept that they're losing. So they wake up and say, oh, I'm just a man living life.
Bro, they're too comfortable.
They're too comfortable.
Yeah, mental health and depression is an interesting one because, like, you look at Tyson Fury, right? How can you not respect the heavyweight champ? Gypsy King, G, right? And he was talking about how he was depressed and how he fought his way out of it and everything. Huge respect for the guy. He was depressed, and the only way he fought and beat his depression was one day he got up, grabbed himself by the bootstraps, got in the gym, became the champ again, brought himself back to the former champion he was. Mm-hmm. He did it himself, right? And I think that that's really the only way any of these things can be beaten. I think if I were to talk to Tyson or Tyson were to talk to anybody, he'd say the same thing. He'd say, look, end of the day, even if you're struggling, it's you that's going to have to get up and get the work done and change your life. I think that a lot of the help, which is being purported now by the system, by the Matrix, isn't designed to help. I think it's designed to keep people in this state of depression because when you're depressed, you're submissive. You don't care about what happens to you if you're depressed. Depressed people aren't going to riot against a new law or against COVID tyranny because they're depressed. They're too busy. They're at home and they're sad.
The best option, the best thing to do is still to get up, be an adult, control your emotions, be stoic, and do the things you're supposed to do day after day. Laying in bed and doing nothing is never going to be the best option. The best option is still to go to the gym, to work hard, to run your business, to be successful. So it doesn't matter. We're talking about the different positions on the chessboard. But if the rules of the game remain the same, regardless of the position you're still trying to win, you still have to do the same things. So does it even matter at this point? If you come along and say he's depressed because of X and he's depressed because of Y and he's depressed because of Z, and the answer to all of them is still the same thing, then I don't give a fuck why you're depressed. All I know, what I will say as a matter of fact, is this world is hyper-competitive, especially as a man.
Life is a journey, filled with ups and downs, triumphs and challenges. But at the heart of it all lies the motivation that keeps us moving forward. Life's motivation is not just about achieving success. It's about finding purpose, meaning and fulfillment in every moment we live. It's about waking up each day with the desire you to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of yourselves. We all faces obstacles, moments of doubt, and times when the path ahead seems unclear. But it's in those moments that we must dig deep and remind ourselves of why we started this journey in the first place. Life's motivation is fueled by our dreams, our passions, and the belief that we are capable of more than we can imagine. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Life is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about taking each day as it comes, embarrassing the highs and the lows, and never losing sight of the bigger picture. Surround yourself with positivity, with people who lift you up and inspire you to be better. Remember that you have the power to shape your own destiny, to create a life that you are proud of, and to leave lasting impact on the world around you. So as you navigate through life. Hold on to your motivation. Let it guide you through the tough times. Celebrate with you in the good times and remind you every day that life is precious gift, full of endless possibilities. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep living your life with purpose and passion. Thank you.